Here are the big budget headlines. Finance Minister presents a no-shock budget. Primary focus on affordable housing, poverty alleviation, infrastructure and rural development. Capital expenditure outlay hiked by 24%. Budget 2017 pegs fiscal deficit for FY18 at 3.2% of GDP, targets a fiscal deficit of 3% for the next 10 years. Net borrowing plan kept below street expectations. Individual taxpayers get some relief. Finance Minister reduces income tax rate on income between 2.5 to 5 lakh rupees to 5% from the earlier 10%. But incomes between 50 lakh to 1 crore rupees will be attracting an additional surcharge of 10%. No corporate tax cut for large companies, but smaller companies with turnover below 50 crore rupees to pay 25% tax instead of 30%. Minimum alternate tax stays, but carry forward raised to 15 years. No bad news is good news on Dalal Street. Markets give a thumbs up to the budget. No long-term capital gains tax on equities and no tinkering of short-term capital gains tax. Foreign portfolio investors exempted from indirect transfer provisions as well. Ease of doing business gets a leg up. The government decides to abolish the Foreign Investment Promotion Board, will further liberalize India's foreign direct investment policy. The government unveils 72,000 crore rupee divestment roadmap, plans to list IRCTC and 2 other railway PSUs. An oil behemoth is in the making, proposes the merging of assets of various oil PSUs to set up a globally competitive integrated PSU oil giant. The affordable housing segment gets a big push as it is granted infrastructure status. The government promises to build new homes for 1 crore households by 2019. The post-demonetization war on black money continues. FM accepts the recommendations of the SIT on black money to limit any cash transactions to 3 lakh rupees. Political parties get curbs on donations. The maximum cash donation any party can receive from any one source is capped at 2,000 rupees, but can accept donations by checks or digital modes. RBI Act to be amended to enable the issuance of electoral bonds for political funding. Well, here are some political reactions to the budget, starting with Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi.
Demonetization के बाद जो झटका सरकार ने गरीबों पर मारा, एक्सपेक्टेशन थी कि किसानों के लिए, गरीब लोगों के लिए, युवाओं के लिए, बेरोजगार लोगों के लिए कुछ किया जाए, मगर कोई क्लियर विजन नहीं दिख रहा है। पॉलिटिकल पार्टी शेर शायरी की जेठनीली जी ने अच्छा भाषण दिया, मगर बेसिस कुछ नहीं है उसके।
4,71,000 crores of total outlay for the infrastructure. Our budget is also, road sector budget is also increased. And for a masala bond, that tax exemption was also given by the finance minister, which is going to reduce that interest rate. So I feel that the infrastructure is moving fast. Last year it was 18 kilometer per day road construction. Today, up to the end of December, it was 18 kilometer per day, and up to the March end, it will be 30 kilometer per day. And my target, which already I declared for this year, was 40 kilometer. But next year, we will complete the 40 kilometer per day. And before end of March, we are going to allot the work project of more than 15,000 kilometer. And already after our government form, we have signed the contracts more than 4,50,000 crores. So our sector is moving fast.
मैं मानता हूं सभी दृष्टि से ये बजट एक परिपूर्ण बजट है। विकास को गति देने वाला बजट होगा, रोजगारी को गति देने वाला बजट होगा, कृषि विकास दर को गति देने वाला बजट होगा और मध्यम वर्ग, निम्न मध्यम वर्ग और गरीब के लिए काफी सारी सुविधाएं लेकर आने वाला ये बजट है।
जो बजट है, मैं समझता हूं कि ना नौजवानों के लिए, ना महिलाओं के लिए, ना किसानों के लिए। ऋण माफी की योजना की बहुत बात हम लोग कर रहे थे। हम लोग चाह रहे थे कि किसानों के इस दुख के समय में कुछ योजना निकले, पर कुछ नहीं निकला। रेलवे सुरक्षा के मामले में भी सबसे ज्यादा हादसे हो रहे हैं। रेलवे सुरक्षा के लिए भी कोई मुद्दा नहीं उठाया जा रहा है। बुलेट ट्रेन की बात की जा रही है, लेकिन जो वास्तविकता है हर इंसान की, उस पर कोई विश्लेषण नहीं।
ये एक क्रांतिकारी और सुधार के लिए बहुत ही उपयुक्त बजट है। देश में पारदर्शिता लाने वाला बजट है। प्रामाणिक करदाताओं को सहूलत देने वाला है। गांव, गरीब, किसान, जवान, नौजवान और महिला, युवक सबको मौका देने वाला बजट है।
ये रेल बजट मेन बजट में मर्ज करने से उसकी आइडेंटिटी तो चले गई, वो बड़ी मछली छोटी मछली को निगली।
This is a path-breaking budget in the background of some of the most bold economic steps ever taken of demonetization and GST, and a new era has begun of not only adhering to fiscal prudence but also bringing in social equity at the same time.
I think the finance minister has taken it, the reform process as regards investment promotion to a logical conclusion, with majority of the investments, foreign direct investments, now going through an automatic route. The relevance and also one more layer of a decision-making process is being cut down. The unnecessary overlap in decision-making is being removed, very consistent with what we are doing in the name of ease of doing business.
Right. And also in startups, the minister announced several more reforms and support. Do you think the startup ecosystem will be, how do you think the startup ecosystem will react to these measures?
I think the finance minister has only responded to what the people have responded, are asking us to do. There have been demands that 3 years is insufficient, and therefore now extending it to 7 years, 3 out of 7 years, makes perfect sense. I think it will stand to benefit the startup.
Lots of political and government reactions coming in over there. We also have an exclusive interaction with Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan on the impact of the budget on the oil and gas sector.
It's very welcoming move by Honorable Finance Minister. He has mentioned about synergy of energy sector, primarily in the oil and gas sector. There are a lot of discussion since last so many days, last 1 year I can say, how to create, take advantage of this new oil price. When the oil price is at the lowest level, E&P company are at difficult stage, at a challenging stage. When the oil price is a little bit high, marketing company are at hostage. So looking into this kind of scenario, looking at our market size, looking into our requirement. Now India has capacity to create not only one, we may create 2-3 more company. We have so many companies, oil companies, oil marketing company, E&P company, midstream companies are there, company like GAIL are there. Now we want to create synergy with the announcement of Finance Minister, the kind of announcement Finance Minister has done. This will facilitate to create a thought process, how to synergize, how to create some integrated company from E&P to distribution point. That will add on value, that will de-risk the company, that will give them more leverage to go outside India also. So this kind of synergy is the need of the hour. And this will create a good reform in oil industry, in energy industry in India.
You just mentioned that 2-3 more companies will be required. So what will be the structure of this one big PSU? Will it be between all the 13?
It will be not one PSU. It will not be wise to put all the egg in one basket. It will be multi-PSU. Now it is there, but they are fragmented. Somebody is looking after marketing, somebody is looking after refinery, somebody is looking after E&P. Now the new company will be integrated one, from E&P to refinery to marketing area. So it's up to company. They will sit. Government's role is to create the process, create the policy, to facilitate that. Now government as an enabler of the policy, we have done that. Now the company, this will be a business to business discussion, and government would like to create integrated company.
So will it be merger of all the 13 PSUs involved in the oil sector? Will it be will there be a structure specified by the government?
No, it will be up to company. It's a purely business decision, but as a custodian of government company, government has created this facility. There will be integration. There will be a synergy. Okay. There will be integrated company, but who will merge with whom, who will acquire whom? It's up to the business proposition, it is up to the company. Their independent board will take their own decision.
Okay. This proposal was floated in 2005 again. So what is the timeline you're looking at? And or this is just open-ended since it has just been announced in the budget?
Never it was announced as a policy.
Yeah.
Government is very decisive and very focused on this issue. This is a big ticket reform according to me. This will create a, looking into all the oil majors of the world are coming to Indian market. Company like Rosneft has invested in Indian market. Yeah. BP has taken license for marketing the downstream in Indian market. They are already into the upstream of the Indian market. So looking into that, why don't we create a synergy within our own company? Government is very decisive, government is very proactive, but with due diligence. It's not a newsline, television headline. So it will take its own time to complete its due diligence. Okay. It's a business decision. It should be mutual beneficial to both the company. Government directed them, government given them some direction. They will act according to the directives of government. But due diligence, business proposition, day-to-day planning, it's up to company.
Okay. Okay. The other announcement in the budget was made on LNG duty, which has been cut from 5% to 2.5%, and 2 cabins have been announced as well. So what will be the investment like?
The 2 reformists and 2 very good announcements by Honorable Finance Minister. This particularly when we are moving towards we are committed to COP21. Yeah. My Prime Minister is very focused on that. Looking into that, the way we are positioning ourselves in renewable energy, the backup energy will be coming from gas, from LNG. So to reduce the commodity, LNG commodity price in Indian market, this is a very welcoming step. Since long we have been requesting Finance Ministry. This time they have accepted our proposal, and rightly they have reduced the tax import duty from 5% to 2.5%. This will be this will be a very good incentive to create the new business model. Okay. And yes, by this add-on of this around 10 million metric ton capacity, by sanctioning these 2 cabins, one at Odisha, one at Rajasthan, this will put India in the high table. India will be moving towards a 90-day storage. This will a big jump and big statement for our energy security. Ajay, we are on the we are moving towards it to be a big economy. For a big economy of Indian size, this is a very welcoming stage.
The oil minister there. Now, Dalal Street waved a thumbs up to the budget. The Sensex and the Nifty rallied nearly 2% each. Bank stocks were the stars in today's trading action, with the Nifty Bank rising over 2.5%. Mid-caps were not far behind. The mid-cap index also rallied over 2%. Here are some of the top market experts on what they made of Budget 2017. We start with Ramesh Damani on that big proposal to create a mega PSU oil behemoth.
They'll merge all the refining assets, segregate the marketing assets, and sell them in a massive PSU disinvestment. I think that's the roadmap that they are going towards. And the fact that they're going to list some new PSUs makes me very encouraged, because there's a lot of value to be found. As Peter Lynch famously said, when the Queen sells her silver, you should be buyers of it. So I think some of these new gold nuggets that will be listed will present investors with a very good opportunity. So that was the most heartening part of the speech for me. I think from tomorrow on, we'll focus at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. What's going on in America is, breathtaking. 50 years of post-World War II regime is being unshackled out there. There are severe consequences for the global economy.
I think the whole market was nervous, but I have not heard anything in the fine print yet. But the only thing which is there, that the property long-term capital gains tax is being reduced to 2 years. So we have to see the fine print, but I don't think there is anything which has come. By and large, keeping the fiscal deficit at 3.2%, not increasing any income taxes anywhere, rather delivering a tax reduction and keeping the expenditure above what the market was expecting, I think is a very, very fine balance. And market, that's why you're seeing market is celebrating.
This is a very workmanlike budget. We've got some clear indications about how to broaden the tax base in India. developments around improving transparency, efficiency. These are all good things. And I think it's very much sort of important to look at what's going on in the housing sector in India. There was the passing of the Real Estate Reform Act last year. We've now got help through the taxation system. And when you look at the scale of the Indian housing market relative to the Chinese housing market, it's still very, very small. There's no reason why they shouldn't be equivalent. So I think we are developing here the really big, significant growth sector for both the capital markets and the economy over the next decade.
With that, we wrap up this budget special, but don't go anywhere. We will be right back in 2 minutes with a comprehensive discussion on Budget 2017 with a power-packed panel. That's it from me.